we largely ran off of the right side of our brains in the past, and that is the space where that numinous space dwells, the space that images come from your dreams, things like that. And we kind of were like a pack animal of sorts, but more intelligent. And once language developed in the form of writing, and people were able to step outside of themselves more and more and put themselves in experiences of people from other places or whatnot, that we started developing the left hemisphere, and there was a transition period that took place. But the right hemisphere of the brain, um, it would latch onto an image, and much like a religion might do for you, where you have this concept of the divine and it appears to you and you work with it through that image. Well, when societies began to form and larger groups came about, in order to unify, they would often rally around a king, but that king might die. And so that king became an image that was passed down to the next successor king. And they would have these temples where they would have an idol of this image that unified the group. And they all had the same image of what in their right hemisphere of their brain would be able to communicate to them, and urge them to do things. Still today, we don't know where our thoughts and urges come from. They would do experiments in people's brains and stimulate a certain part of their brain and then ask them why they stood up. And they said, oh, I was going to go get a Coke or something like that. But we don't know where those impulses come from. And largely everything we do when someone asks why you did that is just trying to figure out an explanation for something we don't really know where it sprung from. So that space, we eventually were able to take ourselves out of the tribe and envision ourselves as an individual human being with that left hemisphere that developed. But largely in our culture today, at least, for the most part in the world, we're so overly developed on the left hemisphere of the brain, which does small tasks, but isn't able very well to see the whole picture.